My name is Tony Powell. I helped Saskia take her own life.
We've not talked about the videotape.
What videotape?
We made it together. It explains everything.
If it's not too late, I am now willing to stand as a witness for the defence.
You will not help that man get away with murdering my wife!
Have you noticed the date that Mrs. Stanley changed her will? It was only 6 weeks before she died. And Mr. Powell accompanied her to the solicitors.
Anthony Powell, crippled with debt, prematurely and deliberately, ended the life of Saskia Stanley.
I know what you want me to say. That he was too nice, too honest. Yeah, well, he was. I thought he was. Then I didn't know he was knocking off my missus behind me back.
Why did you hear that?
His best mate just stood up and told the court he still wanted to defend him.
Thanks for your email.
Well, thanks for your response.
If you could just see what your mum said on that videotape.
What videotape, Tony?
To my darling son and daughter, to Neil and all my family and friends.
It's ready.
Gordon, I wanted to give you this. It's a list of all the responsibilities and tasks carried out by Julie during the 12 months of her pupillage. I'd be grateful if you could email it to all our members in advance of the vote tomorrow.
That's electioneering, Mr. Ridley.
It's a summary of the facts for those who may be in the dark.
Facts may not tempt them out of the dark.
Are you saying Julie has something to be worried about?
Well, there are those, when not I, of course, who find her brash attitude a little grating.
The confidence is a virtue in this job.
There's a thin line between confidence and arrogance.
Yeah, she's straight talk.
Some would say blunt.
Look, Gordon, I know her pretty well.
As we'd all gathered.
And I can tell you that she's just eager to prove herself.
Well, let's hope she does that sufficiently. I'm sure you'd be very sad to see her go.
Morning. Good Lord, you look exhausted. What have you been up to?
Working late.
Did you get any sleep? I don't know about you, but I always find hotels terribly noisy.
Valerie, did you look at my laptop last night?
Oh, of course not.
Morning, all.
Hear the case could be wrapping up today. What are your punter's chances?
Flick a coin. Seriously, I have no idea.
How intriguing. Well, good luck.
Did you get your taxi okay last night? You all right?
Fine.
Morning, Mr. Powell.
Could be over today, right?
Very likely, though perhaps not the verdict.
And give me one more day of freedom then.
I just think we'll have lined up on opposite sides in court.
I think I got it wrong. That's why I want you to set the record straight.
I'm not going to shout, I just need to speak to her. Jess, I know you think you're doing the right thing, but you will regret this for the rest of your life.
You have to respect her decision.
Jess, look at me. Please, love.
Miss Stanley?
I won't let you. If your mother could see you.
Dad, please move out of my way. Dad.
Shame on you, Jess. Miss Stanley, how would you describe your relationship with your mother?
Incredibly close.
Uh-huh. And did that relationship change when your mother started seeing Anthony Powell?
No, not really. I never really saw eye to eye with Tony, but I could see Mum liked him.
And I have to ask you, Jessica, what motivates you to give evidence on behalf of Mr. Powell when both your brother and your father did so for the prosecution?
I think my brother regrets that.
That is pure hearsay, Your Honour, and I would like that struck from the record.
Please just answer the questions, Miss Stanley. That last response has no relevance, and you should not consider it as part of your deliberations.
You say in your statement to the police that you initially wondered if Mr. Powell had murdered your mother, but then you changed your mind. Why is that?
I was so grief-stricken and upset, and Dad was railing against Tony, and I kind of went along with that. But there are two conversations that stuck in my mind. The first was when Mum tried to talk to me about taking her own life. She asked in a very general way, but in retrospect I can see that she was testing the water.
And the second conversation?
It was only the day before she died, and I wondered if maybe she was trying to say goodbye.
They've put the morphine dosage up again.
I thought you were feeling a bit better.
It's got me now, darling. It's only a matter of time.
It could be months, that's what Dr. Adams said.
It won't be months. It'll be a lot sooner.
Don't.
We should say everything we need to say to each other.
Just that I love you. That's all I've ever wanted to say.
You say that you think your mother was attempting to say goodbye that day.
In hindsight, yes, I do.
How long had the doctors given her at that time?
A few months at most.
Well, might she not have been beginning to prepare for the end in a very natural way?
I suppose so.
Were you surprised that she left such a brief goodbye note?
I was, yes, but there has been talk of a videotape.
Yes, but let's say there is no tape. There is no evidence of one. Did that strike you as a very abrupt way for her to say goodbye?
It did, yes.
And in your statement earlier on, you actually felt your mother's mood had improved before her death.
I did.
And what of the will? Were you subsequently surprised that your mother changed the will so radically.
I was surprised.
So, your mother decides to take her own life without confiding in you, despite your incredible closeness, and she heftily reduces your share of the will. You were surprised by all of these things, were you not?
I suppose I was.
And upset too, I imagine.
Yes.
Because they pointed to an awful explanation, didn't they?
I didn't know what to think.
You didn't know what to think. But you decided what to think. And you chose the less traumatic story.
I don't know if that's true.
You wanted to believe that Anthony Powell had helped your mother, not murdered her. Even though the evidence pointed to a far darker truth. Might you have discounted murder, Miss Stanley, not because the evidence pointed that way, but because you couldn't face it? And who could blame you?
I just miss your mum so much.
I know.
I couldn't even help you, Mum. I couldn't get near to her because he was always there.
We need some time together. As a family, once all this is over.
Yeah. Yeah, we do.
What happened to that photo album Mum was putting together?
I'm not sure.
We should have a look through it.
Yeah. Nice idea. Good lad, son.
I'll have a look around for it.
No. Let me find it. Actually, I think I know what it is. You let me dig it out.
I really took her to pieces.
I thought she did okay.
Yeah, at this stage, I think we need a little better than okay.
You know that point about Saskia's mood improving before she died? I think we could use that to our advantage.
In what way?
Perhaps she felt better because she'd made the decision. It could have been a sign of Saskia having made peace with herself.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Valerie, just to warn you, I think Julie's winning hearts and minds.
Is that right? Well, the stress is clearly getting to her. She's looking very tired this morning. Mind you, so was Ridley.
I do believe you know something.
What on earth gave you that idea?
Are you about to send your rival tumbling?
Ridley's hardly a rival.
I meant Julie Pryor.
In what way is she my rival?
She's a potential rival. Come on, Valerie, everyone loves a catfight. It's the talk of Chambers.
A catfight? Well, far be it from me to stop you boys getting what you want from us. Tell me, if I found out Ridley was knocking off Julie, what would that do for his career?
Are you telling me?
No, I'm asking a hypothetical question.
Well, as you know, sexual impropriety with your pupil is a disciplinary offence.
Which means?
He gets a slap on the wrist.
Slap on the back, more like. And what about for Julie?
Hard to say.
We'd all talk about her poor judgment and loose morals, right? And that mud would stick.
My God, I thought you hated the woman.
She deserves a fight on a level playing field, does she not?
Anthony Powell took advantage of a dying woman. He ostracized her family, persuaded her to change her will, and injected her with an overdose of morphine before claiming it was her idea all along.
Mr. Powell was in an impossible situation. The woman he loved was in unbearable pain and asked him to help her die. He assisted her. The only thing he's guilty of is an act of love.
Much hangs on the evidence of Mr. Powell, who claims he acted out of love, but he was secretly having an affair with his best friend's partner. The problem for Anthony Powell is that we know he is a liar.
Yes, the affair, brief though it was a terrible mistake. But it was an error made by a lonely man under intense pressure.
His business was in freefall, and that is why he pressured Saskia to change her will. He even drove her to the solicitors to make sure she did it.
Saskia Stanley had made the decision to end her life. She sorted out her will. She tried to say goodbye to her daughter. She left her family a farewell note.
Who administered the diamorphine? Was it the weak, bedridden Mrs. Stanley, who miraculously found the strength and skill to inject herself? Or was it significantly more likely to have been Mr. Powell, who stood to handsomely benefit from her death?
As to her improved mood and state of mind, might that not actually have been because she'd finally made peace with her fate? She decided it was time. If you are to find Tony Powell guilty, you need to be sure, beyond reasonable doubt. Yet how can you be sure when there isn't a shred of evidence against him? He knew about the contents of the will? No evidence. The suicide was his idea. No evidence. He carried out the injection? No evidence.
It was only after the arrest, in a desperate attempt to save his own skin, that he concocted a ridiculous story about a missing videotape.
Tony Powell is an ordinary man, trapped in an extraordinary situation.
Anthony Powell is a deceitful, manipulative man, driven by financial motives.
His only desire was to obey and honor the dying wishes of the woman he loved. And that is why I implore you to reach the only verdict that in good conscience you can reach.
To find the defendant guilty.
Not guilty of the murder of Saskia Stanley. Well, it doesn't look like there's going to be a decision today, though you never know. I know the waiting's hard. Let's just hope it doesn't take long and you get the verdict you deserve.
Deserve?
A positive outcome, Mr. Powell. Now, you know you have to stay in the building until the judge releases you for the day.
Julie, we never did follow up our Chambers chat.
No.
When's the vote?
Tomorrow?
Well, I have to tell you in strictest confidence, we have a place for you. But if you really wanted to stick it to them, you could say yes to us before tomorrow. It'd be quite a coup.
And why would I do that?
Well, because you feel justifiably undervalued, because you know you're good, and you cannot for the life of you understand why they don't.
Is this just a wind-up to get to Saul?
No. I love to wind up Ridley, but no, this is a genuine offer. Here's my number. You call me any time. Seriously, it's there if you want it.
What's that about?
Just prematurely gloating.
To my darling son and daughter, to Neil and all my family and friends. This is no way to say goodbye, but it's the way that I've chosen. And I hope you can forgive me for that.
Why did you steal the tape, Dad? Why? Why?
He forced her into doing that. He as good as murdered her.
What?
He destroyed this family.
No, you did that, Dad! You ran off with someone else, and then you regretted it. But Mum had already found Tony. That is why you want to punish him. Come on, let's get out of here.
Where are you going? What are you going to do?
How's the case?
The jury's just deliberating.
Did Ridley play a blinder?
He did brilliant, actually.
Yeah, but then you would say that.
Have you told anyone?
You're not the first pupil to fall for their married pupil master.
You don't know anything about it.
Oh, don't tell me it's different. He loves you. He's going to leave his wife.
What do you want?
Oh, don't be a fool, Julie. You're in a very vulnerable position. It always ends the same way.
I'll bear that in mind.
We're not judged the way they are. You give them anything, they'll use it against you.
I don't need a lecture from you.
Do you think I didn't learn the hard way? Do you think I didn't make exactly the same mistakes? I get up every day and I put on this because that's what you have to do. You've made a lot of assumptions about me, but you don't know me. Nobody here does. I bloody well make sure of that.
Well, if I've done that, then I'm sorry.
I haven't warmed to you, though the belated apology is welcome. But I can also see you've got a lot of talent. And I'm not going to give our male collies any more ammunition, especially with the vote coming tomorrow. That would be unsisterly. Which, for the record, I am not.
Thank you.
Why is Missy so grateful all of a sudden?
Just giving her the wisdom of my experience.
If you've got something, why don't you throw it my way?
Sorry to disappoint you boys, but the cat fight's off.
Dan can't even get his head round the fact I'm dying. It's so difficult.
Are you still in two minds about what to do?
No. I'm just scared. They've upped my dose. It's spread further. And it bloody feels like it. 21st of April. It was the day we met. 3 years ago.
Well remembered.
It's this Thursday. It's as good a day as any. Let's put a date to it.
Mr. Powell? Mr. Powell? There's not going to be a verdict today. Not entirely surprising.
Okay, thanks.
Why don't you go and see some friends? Take your mind off things.
Yeah. Yeah, I will.
Okay. See you tomorrow.
Can we talk? This isn't going to end well, is it?
Says who? Look, Julie, since we first met, it's been a bit of a wake-up call for me about my marriage and the fact that I need to do something about it.
I don't want to be the reason for you and your wife's...
No, you're not going to be. It's my problem, I know that. But I'm serious about you.
You can't say that, not now.
I know that now is not the right time. I need to talk to my wife. I need to tell her what we both already know. And then, maybe somewhere down the line...
Hey, hang on a minute. We fall into bed together and you're already asking me if I'll be free to commit once you call time on your marriage.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Then what are you saying? We don't know what's going to happen. We have no idea. I mean, what we do know is we can't keep doing this while you're married.
I'm glad one of us is being a grown-up.
Thanks for patronising me. Do you want to pat me on the head too?
I'd settle for a kiss on the cheek.
Carl! It's me! Come on, mate, let me in. Carl, please!
Yeah, I know. It's your last night of freedom. You might be getting sent down. You're never going to see me again. And you don't want things to be like this.
I just wanted to say sorry properly.
So... Who cares if you're sorry? I don't.
I just wanted to explain what happened.
I don't want to hear it. Just give me one good reason why I shouldn't punch your lights out.
Go on, then. Do it.
You're my best mate. What the hell were you doing? You've really messed things up.
I know.
Have you got a fag?
You don't smoke.
Have you? You're waiting for the verdict?
Yeah.
Did they mention the stuff I brought up?
Yeah.
A lot?
Fair bit.
Well, she's moved out, in case you were wondering.
I'm not. It's history. I know this won't mean much to you, but I really am sorry.
It's the way that I've chosen, and I hope you can forgive me for that. I didn't want to drift towards death, numbed with painkillers, so that I was barely able to speak. I want you to remember me alive, lucid, and thinking of you. Jess, you're my absolute rock. I know you found the man of your dreams, and you're going to have a crazy, wonderful life together. Dan, You're a beautiful boy. Sensitive, caring. I know you're going to do great things. I love you both so much, and I am so proud of you.
It feels good to know she did say goodbye. You know, I understand why she did it. I do. So that's good, right?
What are we going to do?
We have to go to the police.
Jess.
Tony could go to jail. There's no debate here.
And so could Dad. He's stolen evidence and made up a story about it and lied in court.
Well, it's him or Tony, and Tony's done nothing wrong.
It was meant for us. And we've seen it. Now we could just wait.
I'm not comfortable doing that.
Well then, we're definitely condemning Dad to a jail sentence.
Don't blame Tony. This was not his idea. It was mine. He will play no part in my death. It will be by my own hand.
Hands shaking. I can't.
Do you want me to do it for you?
Go on then, quickly, before I change my mind.
Nothing too technical, just a simple show of hands. And if you have a majority, you join our illustrious gang.
And if not?
No need for such thoughts. You know, I've always been a big champion of yours. Morning, Mr. Ridley. Expecting the verdict today?
I hope so, Gordon, but you know how juries are.
Yes, horribly unpredictable. Why we insist on empowering the man in the street is beyond me. Good luck to you both today.
Big champion of yours. Such a hypocrite.
Do you not think he supports me?
He doesn't support anyone. He sways whichever way the wind's blowing. But if he's getting his congratulations in early, that could be a good sign.
Maybe. Sol, I mean, should we really be working together?
How do you mean?
Well, say I win the vote. Should I take it?
Well, of course you should. Anyway, where else are you going to go? Look, we'll work it out, all right? Whatever happens.
Maybe we should get to court.
Morning. Morning, Sol.
Oh, good luck today. I hope it goes your way.
Thank you.
Does she just have a personality transplant?
She's just being friendly.
She doesn't do friendly. She doesn't know about it.
No, not all.
Good. Because if she did, it'd be around this place like wildfire.
We should have gone to the police. Dan.
Let's just wait and see what happens first.
How dare he?
Let me deal with this. Jess would prefer it if you waited somewhere else.
So, please.
You heard me.
I'm entitled to be here.
Do you think we'll let Tony get sent down for something he didn't do? Do you think we won't turn you in?
Why haven't you?
If he gets found guilty, we will.
Do you want me to do it?
You can't do that.
No one will know.
before I changed my mind.
I love you.
I love you too.
All rise.
I love you too.
Has the jury reached a verdict upon which you are all agreed?
Yes. I love you.
I love you too. I'm scared.
It's okay.
No. No, wait. I'm not sure now.
No one will know.
I can't. No.
It's okay.
No.
It's okay, Abby.
I'm not sure now.
It's okay.
No.
Do you find the accused, Anthony Powell, guilty or not guilty of murder?
Not guilty.
And is that the verdict of you all?
It is.
The defendant can be discharged.
Disgrace.
I would like to thank you all for your careful deliberations, and you go with the thanks of the court for your public service.
Mark.
That man is as guilty as sin. Juries, honestly, will be the death of me.
So just down to the jury, then, was it?
All right, well done. But don't gloat, hmm? Goodbye, Julie. I hope to see you again soon, hmm?
It's good to put one over on that creep.
Not bad.
Tony, well done.
I just don't think I deserve it. Of course you do. We won.
Congratulations.
Cheers.
It's all over now.
That was a bit weird.
What was?
Mr. Powell's reaction. What did he mean? He didn't deserve it? Do you think he might have been guilty?
I wouldn't want to speculate.
Doesn't it make you feel a bit odd?
Look, the jury didn't think there was the evidence to convict him.
I just thought I'd feel more satisfied.
Julie, you've done really well, okay? There's plenty for you to be happy about.
No, I mean morally satisfied.
Give us a few years, we'll beat that kind of caring nonsense out of here.
You sound so jaded and cynical. Listen to yourself.
Yeah. Hope. Yeah, okay. Good. Sure. Yes, I will. All right. Well, Chambers have voted on your tenancy.
Yeah, and?
They wouldn't tell me they want to speak to you in person.
Well, that doesn't sound very promising, does it?
I wouldn't read too much into it. Come on, let's put you out your misery.
And when they come in, just look as gloomy as you can. Wait.
Welcome to Atherton Chambers, Miss Bry. Your name is now on the door.
Between you and me, that wasn't even close.
Thank you.
So you gonna join us?
Yes!
Oh, excuse me.
Welcome to Atherton. I think one or two of us underestimated you, didn't we?
And I know I may have rubbed people up the wrong way.
Oh, I wouldn't say that.
Look, I'm a big girl. I can take it. I'll learn.
As long as you don't go all bland on me, or rather like a few sparks, makes my job a lot more fun. Cheers.
Oh, cheers, thank you, honestly. I'm just gonna get one.
Right, I'll see you there. Bye. Hey, listen, that was my wife. We're gonna meet for lunch and start talking things through on neutral territory, so I'm gonna leave you to it.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
It's none of our business, Gordon.
Are you right?
Yeah.
Come on, what is it?
It's just... I know I shouldn't care, and it's probably because it's my first big case, but... I can't stop thinking about Tony Powell.
Look, it's over. We've done our job. Whatever it was that happened, he's got to live with it.